Hey everyone, it's Chris back again with another games pickup video, and this one's going to be a doozy. Got a lot of games that I picked up in the past couple months, both new and Goodwill finds, so we're going to switch over and go through them all. It's going to be a long video, so bear with me guys, but I think you'll enjoy. So anyways, let's cut to the games. Alright, so let's get this started. First off, I'm going to start with a bunch of games I found at Goodwill. The first set I found at the Madison, Wisconsin Goodwill. And this was during a family trip. I stopped by there and I got lucky. So let's start off first. I found this for $3. That is a copy of Super Mario World. Pretty clean cart. No imperfections really. And the save battery is still working on it, so don't have to replace that yet. But yep, got Super Mario World, $3. And then I got an entire lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games for $5 total. Now there's, maybe 5 mediocre to crappy games in it, but some really good ones. So let's start with the crappier ones, I guess. This first one is Tom and Jerry for the original Game Boy. And it's just kind of a generic platformer, I guess. So put that right there. And yeah, I tried a little bit of it. It's okay. It's nothing special. Not worth much of anything. Then I got this game, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is not the arcade game port. It is like a side scroller. And as you can see, the shitty LJN rainbow, which is infamous with Angry Video Game Nerd, hates these games. But yeah, this game is pretty mediocre. And then we got this game, which is okay, but nothing special. It's called Motocross Maniacs. It's an Ultra Games. Ultra Games is the subsidiary of Konami back in the day when I think Nintendo had a policy where they could only release a certain amount of games per year or something. So Konami made the Ultra Games label so they could release more games. So that's the explanation for that. This game is kind of interesting. It's a lot like Excite Bike, but maybe more crazy because there's a lot of crazier stunts like loops and stuff like that. And then I got 2 Game Boy Color games in this lot. One is just, some stupid sports game with someone's name written on it. All-Star Baseball 2001 by Acclaim. So whatever, don't care about that at all. And then this one, which is a little more interesting, Harry Potter, I guess the original Harry Potter, based on the first movie. This is kind of interesting. It's almost RPG-like. It's like an isometric view, and you're walking around the town talking to people and stuff. I didn't play too much, just checked it out. So that's another one. Now we'll get to the better quality ones. First up, this one's okay, I guess, just because it's a Nintendo franchise game. It's just regular old baseball with, you can see Mario pitching on there. So this is the Nintendo baseball. Tried a bit of it. It's simple but fun. It's not worth anything really. But yeah, got that. Next up, we have getting better games now. First one here, Kirby's Pinball Land. And this is obviously a pinball game, and this is one of the titles on Club Nintendo right now for trading your points, and I think it's like 200 Club Nintendo points. And yeah, this was part of the lot as well. Didn't get to play this game yet, but should be cool. I like pinball games. It'd be fun. So next up, we got, of course, Kirby's Dream Land. I believe this is the first Kirby game, unless the NES version came first. If you know for sure, let me know. But this is the one I originally played back in the day. quite enjoyed it, and it still holds up well today. Very good platformer. And next up, this one, which is pretty good find in this lot. Pokemon Blue, the original Pokemon Blue for Game Boy, not Game Boy Color. So yeah, what can you say? The original Pokemons. This is actually my first Pokemon game ever. Never really played them. Never had a huge interest, but I guess this is my first Pokemon game. I tried it a little, and you know, they feel like RPGs with monster collecting, so everyone knows Pokemon except me. So next up, this is one that I was really probably most happy to find in this lot. This is a game I was actually gonna try to find eventually, and that is, you can see it focusing in, hopefully, but it's Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge. So the first one was Castlevania Adventure, I believe, and this is its sequel. There was also some other ones, but that had Sonia Belmont, and those aren't part of the canon anymore. So I'll have to grab the first one, Castlevania Adventure. But this one's actually a really good Castlevania game. It's a lot like the NES originals. They kind of remade this game and the first one on WiiWare as Castlevania Adventure Rebirth. So I was really happy to find this one especially. So there you go. All these Game Boy games were $5 total. And a lot of crap, but among the good games, definitely worth the price. And this for $3 is okay price, Mario World. So anyways, we'll move those out of the way and move on. Okay, so the thing with Goodwill is you need to keep going there often because you'll always find something new unexpectedly. So after my Madison trip, I got home, and the next day I went to my local Goodwill, and I found a big bunch of NES games. I had to pay individual prices for these, but still I found some good stuff in here. So we'll start with the first and most well-known one, obviously, and that is Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. This is the pack-in version, I'm pretty sure. When I was a kid, I had the Power Pad edition of the NES, so that had these two and the World Class Track Meet. So I haven't had this version, but there you go. It's got a little initial up at the top, but it seems to be rubbing off just with my finger, so I'll probably remove that with some rubbing alcohol. So yeah, the classic, good to have. And then next up we have another classic, and that is Tetris. Yes, the OG Tetris. Although I think did Tetris first come out on Game Boy and then NES? You'll have to clue me in on that. But this is a timeless game, never gets old. Really hard to master completely. There's the one movie, Ecstasy of Order. It's like a Tetris documentary about the professional players. It's really interesting. So yeah, very cool game. All of these games cost $2 each, by the way. So I didn't get a nice lot price, but for $2 each, I mean, some of these are worth $5 to $10 plus shipping. So, you know, paid a decent price for them. Alright, next up, we got a game I've never really played, but I just grabbed it just in case it was cool. It's called Silent Service. It's another Ultra Games from Konami, and I guess it's a sub-combat game. I looked at a video and it's like first person with a lot of like stats on the screen and stuff. I heard it's really hard to play, so we'll see how that is. So another $2 again. And then we have this one, which is a classic, of course. Original Top Gun by Konami, based on the movie. And yeah, I played this plenty back in the day. I would like to find the second game as well, but yeah, this is the more well-known one. Really hard to land the plane, or at least for the AVGN. But it's actually pretty simple if you know how to do it. But yeah, Top Gun, typical aerial combat type game. So those are those. And next up, we have another jet combat game, and that is Captain Skyhawk. And this one is an isometric view game. I rented this back in the day and quite enjoyed it. I think I even beat this game, but it's kind of, I think he's like flying out in space and stuff and like going to different planets because the landscape and enemies are all weird looking, so I don't think it's like based in reality. But yeah, that's Captain Skyhawk. Played that a bunch as a kid. Here's another classic. When I played back in the day, RC Pro-Am. This is actually made by Rare, or Rareware, whatever you want to call them. The people who made Battletoads and eventually all the N64 classics like Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark and all that. But this is a really good isometric kart racing game. Very nice controls. So I was glad to pick that up. $2 again. And then here's another one. This one I might have not played that much back in the day, but it is a classic, Rad Racer. And it looks like this is part of the sports series. You can see the logo down there. So this might have been a black box game, I think, but the one I actually played more of was Rad Racer 2, and I think that one had the 3D glasses included with it, which didn't work very well, if I remember correctly. So yeah, $2, $4, $6, $8, $10, $12, $14 for all these games. Hell, you could pay $14 for one of these games, like Tetris. It'd be like, you know, oh, maybe not that much. It'd be like $8 and then $5 shipping. So decent price for $14. So I was happy to beef up my NES collection. Alright, so next up, some more Goodwill finds. These ones I found at my local Goodwill as well. Typical prices for this generation of games, but the first one is Gran Turismo 4 for PS2. And this is actually my first Gran Turismo game. It's a cool series. I'm just not into racing that much, but it's always known for really nice graphics and everything. And I would agree. I mean, the PS2 game is really good graphics for their standards. But yeah, I paid $3 for this one. It's a typical price of PS2 generation games. And then I got another one that's kind of interesting. 007 Everything or Nothing for Xbox Original. And this is kind of a third-person shooter. I think I rented this back in the day, but I wasn't too fond of it because, you know, GoldenEye was king back then and nothing really compared. But now that I play it again and that I got it for $3, it's pretty fun. It's just, you know, third-person shooter where you lock onto enemies, and there's a lot of crazy action sequences in it, and it's kind of nice production values for a movie-based game. And this is actually the only 007 game that has Pierce Brosnan actually doing the voiceover, because I think all the other games it's a sound-alike voice actor. So it's really interesting. There's actually a couple other decent actors in here. William Dafoe, Shannon Elizabeth, Richard Kiel, Heidi Klum, Maya, Mizaki Ito, John Cleese, and Judi Dench as M. So she was the M in the movies, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's cool to find for cheap. Beefing up my collection there. Okay, so next up, I guess we will do just my normal pickups. These are newer titles. I'll start with this one, which I think was dirt cheap at GameStop, and that is Spirit Camera, the Cursed Memoir. And this is just kind of a, it's almost like a, what do you call it, augmented reality game or whatever, where you point your 3DS camera in your actual room and try to find ghosts and take pictures of them, just like in the Fatal Frame series, which this is based off of. And this was only $5 at GameStop. I wouldn't have paid full price for this, but I heard how cheap it was. I'm like, okay, well, I love the Fatal Frame series, so I might as well collect everything related to Fatal Frame. So I picked that up. $5, hey. And I got some Club Nintendo points for it. so that was worth it. Alright, so next up, I might have showed this already, but I can't remember. But either way, it's a new pickup. So that is Final Fantasy X-2 HD Remaster for PS Vita. And this is actually the only way to get it as a physical copy, because the US version of the HD collection, this part 2 is a digital download code. So I wanted to have a physical cart, which is not in there right now, but just for collection's sake, I don't like anything tied to online accounts if I can help it. So I had to import that, and this is actually all sold out now, so I'm glad I did it. And I think there's a rumor that 10 and 10-2 HD collection is coming to PS4 now. There was a product page with the game, with the PS4 box art. I think it was on a French site, but it might be true. We'll find out in a bit. But yeah, I'm glad I have it on a physical cart for Vita. I still got to get 10 on Vita, which I'll pick up cheap for the US version at some point. So those are those pickups. And now, these are games that I didn't really get that cheap, but might as well mention them. First one is Bayonetta 2 on Wii U. And yeah, it's a really great game. I think it's one of the best this year. I'm sad that it didn't win the Game of the Year on the Game Awards, but that show sucks anyway. Fuck you, Jeff Keighley. You fucking Dorito Pope. This is what should have won, but you know why it didn't win? Because of dead ass. Yes, yeah, the fucking social justice warriors whined endlessly about this game because it's depicting women wrong, even though Bayonetta is like the most independent chick ever and like kicking total ass of everyone. But yeah, but anyways, this has Bayonetta 1 and 2 in it on 2 different discs, which is nice. Although the US version didn't get the collector's edition that Europe got. It got a really nice package and everything, with I think 2 separate cases for both games. So that's a bit unfortunate, but you know, I've been looking forward to this. This is one of the main reasons I bought a Wii U, so very cool. Played quite a bit. It's fun. And then next up is another game I picked up for Wii U. It has Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. What can you say? It's made by Retro Studios, the people who did Metroid Prime series, and the original Donkey Kong Country Returns. And it's a lot like Returns, but just even more crazy. The environments are awesome, colorful, tight gameplay, awesome music. I believe the original Donkey Kong Country composer came back to do the music for this, and it definitely shows. So, very cool game. I'd recommend that. So, put these next to each other, I guess. It's always hard to do this, line it up on the camera. Okay, next up we got this one, another Wii U game, of course, Super Mario 3D World. And this is, as you can see, a red cased version. I guess because it's kind of like a greatest hits copy or whatever. See, it's Family Game of the Year. So, yeah, I don't like having like different colored cases on my shelf normally, but it's not a huge deal. But this game is very awesome. Obviously, there's a reason it's the Family Game of the Year, because it's just so frickin' fun. Great graphics for Wii U and tight gameplay. So, awesome game. Highly recommended. And this one's another Platinum Games title, Wonderful 101 for Wii U. And this is kind of like a mix of, I'd say, Beautiful Joe, Bayonetta, and Okami. It's like Okami because you use all the wonderful 100 superheroes that are in your group to draw shapes. You can draw it on the touchscreen or use the right analog stick to draw it out, kind of like Okami. And you can make weapons or tools that cross gaps or climb ladders and stuff. So, it's a cool game, it's interesting. It's got some flaws, but overall it's pretty unique and worth getting on the Wii U if you have one. So that is all of my Wii U games. So, very cool. Collection is looking nice for Wii U. I'm looking forward to Zelda and Star Fox next year for sure. Okay, and now we're getting to all of the games. Well, almost all of these are games I picked up on Black Friday. One of them is not. We'll start with this one. This is just a regular pickup for me. I got this at launch, Alien Isolation. I can't remember if I showed this in a video, but it's still going to be included because it's a recent pickup. And this is the Nostromo edition. So I pre-ordered and got the Alien 1 DLC with it. It's a cool game. It had some issues at launch with the cutscenes being choppy. So I waited a bit to play it more, but what I did play is pretty cool despite the flaws. So I'm probably going to get back into this, but yeah, it's very survival horror-ish. Not a lot of combat, just a lot of sneaking around, great atmosphere. Definitely nails the atmosphere of the movie, the original Alien, and the sound design, everything is spot on. So that's that. Next up, these are all games that I got on the Black Friday sale. Here's one of them. Got this one at Best Buy for $25. That is Metro Redux. And yeah, it's a collection of both the Metro FPS games. I already own both these games on PC, but not the Redux versions, which changed some of the cutscenes and some of the environment looks different and character models are different. So I just wanted to have a physical copy of this game in the best quality possible. So I went with that, $25, can't beat it. Okay, next up, another Black Friday purchase, and this one was kind of annoying, I'll explain why. But it's Shadow of Mordor, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. This was $25 on Best Buy and Walmart. I would have just bought it on Best Buy along with the other games, but I saw it was $25 on Walmart and they advertised it as site-to-store pickup. So I figured, might as well order it on Walmart, right? Then I can pick it up the next day. It said it was available. But guess what? It took a week and a half for them to ship this to my store. And in that time, I went to that Walmart and they had plenty of copies in stock, but they refused to sell it to me because they said I have to wait for the copy they ship. I'm like, well, it's in stock. Why don't you just let me take one of those copies so I don't have to wait? Like, nope, that's how it works. I'm like, okay, I'm never using that system again. I should have just ordered it on Best Buy. So, fuck you, Walmart, and your stupid site-to-store bullshit. But yes, it's a very good game for $25. I'd highly recommend it. Basically Assassin's Creed in well, in the Middle-earth universe. Very neat, very good graphics. I just played a little bit of it so far because I just got it today, finally. Okay, next up, another $25 PS4 game, Wolfenstein: The New Order. I got this one at Best Buy and it shipped right away. And yeah, I mean, it runs on the id Tech 5 engine, which powered Rage and The Evil Within. And the graphics aren't the best in this, but it runs 60 frames and the gameplay is super tight. I mean, probably some of the best shooting I've seen control-wise, and just really fun to kill Nazis in this. Environments look good, story seems cool. I haven't gotten to the future scenario yet, because you start back in World War II. But yeah, then you go ahead when the Nazis took over the future, and should be more futuristic type stuff there. So I'm looking forward to playing more of this. All these games are getting massive though. My PS4 hard drive is full up. I had to delete some games, but yeah, I think this spring I'm going to get a 2 terabyte hard drive for my PS4. Okay, next up, some more Black Friday deals. And these ones I got, I think, well, they're all different prices. So we'll start with this one. Assassin's Creed Rogue for PS3. This is the last gen Assassin's Creed game that came out alongside Unity. And from what I heard, this one's a lot better than Unity, at least, you know, not as many issues, and some people like it's basically like Assassin's Creed 4 style gameplay more with ship combat and everything. It's a little rough visually going back to last gen, but from what I heard, there's a lot less issues. I ran into a few glitches. I got stuck in a bush that it was like a haystack or something, and I couldn't get out of it. I had to reload a checkpoint, so that was annoying. But yeah, if you like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, you'll like this. It has the naval combat again. So yeah, I was a bit more interested in this, and I'll wait on Unity until they fix it completely. So that's that. And this was, I think I got this for $25, which is okay price because I think it still goes for $50. And then next up, this was a $10 purchase on, this one, this Assassin's Creed, by the way. I think I got this at the Walmart site to store as well, but this one only took like 3 days to ship to the store, so I don't know what took so long with Middle-earth, but anyways, this is a $10 one that I got at Best Buy, or no, not Best Buy, Amazon, and that is God of War Ascension. This is the 4th God of War. This is the one they introduced multiplayer for, and I'm not too interested in that. I just like the story of these games, and based off the God of War 3 engine, so it looks very pretty, nice graphics. But yeah, this is only $10. Been waiting to get this for a while. Now all I need is the PSP. I have the first PSP game, and I don't have the second one, but I think I will get either the second game on PSP, or I will get the HD collection of the PSP games on PS3. So that's that. Next up, this is another Best Buy purchase. This was $7 on Black Friday, and that is Dishonored Game of the Year Edition. And as you can see, it includes all the DLC down there, and it's all on the disc, so you can install the DLC right from the disc. No DLC vouchers or anything. So these are, I always like Game of the Year editions that do that, so they're, you know, offline capable. But this is basically a game made by the original, I think some of the original developers of the Thief series, and it definitely shows it's like a kind of a spiritual successor to Thief. Lots of sneaking around, but this one has like more special powers, like the blink ability that lets you kind of move really fast or whatever. So I need to play this more. Speaking of developers, this Wolfenstein here, it was made by Machine Games? Yeah. And they're basically ex-members of Starbreeze, which they made Chronicles of Riddick and The Darkness. And those were some of my favorite games. And it definitely shows in this game. It's got like stealth kills and lots of exploration and stuff like that. You can feel kind of the Starbreeze touch on that, so that's probably why it's so good. And Shadow of Mordor here is made by Monolith, who did the Fear series. So that's very cool. So anyways, my last game that I got for Black Friday is this one, Mortal Kombat Complete Edition on PS3. And I believe this was $10 on Amazon. I already own the original one on PS3 with the collector's edition, and I own the complete edition on PlayStation Vita, but I wanted to have, you know, the complete edition on a console, so I grabbed this. And unfortunately it's the red case, but it's okay. You got Freddy Krueger in there, and then you got the Kratos from Sony on this version, so this is probably the most complete version, aka the title. So yeah, that is all of my Black Friday purchases apart from Alien. So yeah, I am definitely satisfied with the amount of games I picked up recently. Got a lot of stuff to play. So anyways guys, that is it for the video. I know it's been a long one, almost 30 minutes now. So yeah, If you like this, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see footage of any of the games I've shown, let me know in the comments section. I will definitely consider doing that if people want to see it. So anyways guys, talk to you later on the next video. Peace out.